Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And as always, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. And while we are getting quite a few kits this month, all linked down below, they're all releasing on the 22nd, so that is going to be quite a heavy day for your wallets. For 6,600 yen, 44 US, the most impressive kit this month is no doubt the Master Grade Vidar. It comes packed with a lot of details. It's got an upgraded Gundam frame that also offers some impressive articulation, despite the sometimes restrictive design of the machine itself, and it's got a lot of accessories and gimmicks. You can choose to have the Alaya Vignana Type E active or inactive. There's an in-scale sitting and standing figure of the mysterious pilot, going by the pseudonym Vidar, and of course a bunch of weapons. There's a 110mm rifle with removable magazine, 2 handguns with a Master Grade exclusive blowback mechanism, a burst saber with a total of 7 blades, which can be disconnected to serve as explosives, and in each foot we have a deployable Hunter's Edge blade. So you are getting a lot of iron-blooded goodness for your money. Or for 11,000 yen, 74 US, you can get the biggest thing this month, the high-grade Psycho Gundam Mark II. It stands at an impressive 270mm tall, which is just under one American football, and it also comes with a lot of accessories. There's a large shield, a battle-damaged head to replicate the scene from the anime, 10 regular beam effect parts for the finger guns, 2 large beam effect parts for the wrist beam sabers, 10 active reflector bits, 10 inactive reflector bits, and an action base number 4 and the weapon display base to secure both the Mark II itself and all of its Saikamu weaponry. But if you want everything flying around in the most dynamic way possible, I would recommend you to grab another action base, another weapon display base, or maybe even 2 extras. And then for 1,540 yen a pop, 10 US, you can get the SEW Heroes Captain Quanta GF, GF Gundam Estrella Type B, and GF Gundam Estrella Type F. Each of these kits comes with their own signature accessories, but they also have some secret hidden gimmicks that you can only unlock by buying all 3 of them. And staying with the Gunpla news, it was announced that in April, we'll be getting the high-grade G-Line Light Armor, of course as a premium Bandai Limited kit. And despite being called Light Armor, I would say that the price is anything but light. For 3,630 yen, 24 US, we are getting a shield, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, the heavy beam rifle, which is a funny name to give to something called the light armor, a high mobility backpack and a missile launcher backpack, and a set of removable armor, so you can build this thing as either the G-Line Light Armor, which it says on the box, or just as the G-Line without any added armor. And for the figures then, they also started with a premium Bandai Limited thing. The Metal Robot Spirit Sword Impulse Gundam Spec 2, which will set you back 19,250 yen, 129 US. But for that price, you are getting more accessories than you might be expecting. We get the normal things like a stand, 2 anti-armor knives, the shield which can transform between full and compact mode, the Type 35 prototype advanced railgun which can be stored on the back skirt, and a brand new sword silhouette which then houses 2 beam boomerangs with beam saber blade effect parts and the 2 Excalibur swords, which also come with beam saber blade effect parts and can of course be used either together or separately. But then on top of that, we're also getting 2 extra Excalibur swords with perspective in mind. One of them is bigger and the other is smaller so that you can achieve the anime's foreshortening effect, but with the action figure. And all this can be yours in August, which is also when we're getting the Robot Spirits Hyaku Shiki version anime for a whopping 16,500 yen, 111 US. And I'm guessing that the main reason for this price is going to be that nice golden finish, because while it does come with some cool gimmicks, like a lot of moving parts on the legs and a nice array of accessories, it doesn't feel quite enough to really cover the price. As for those accessories, there is the usual beam rifle with beam effect part and clay bazooka, both of which can be stored on the backpack, 2 beam sabers with 3 beam saber blade effect parts, 2 normal ones and 1 slashing one, 2 thruster effect parts, a bunch of hand options, and 4 different visors. A black one, a scanning one with red lines, one with red eyes, and one with blue lines. Also, while it is shown as using the HGUC shield in one of the promotional images, it doesn't actually come with it. It's just meant to show that you can use a HGUC shield if you also have a Robot Spirits HGUC. So yeah, quite the expensive figure. And also releasing in August is the excellent model Raw DX G.Q.NEO Elpeo renewal version. And it feels quite different from the older version. The face has been completely redone for a much more vibrant look, and while her body then has remained the same, the colors are much more subdued, which also really helped to make that new face pop a lot more. This 1/8 scale figure can be yours for 19,800 yen, 133 US, which is unfortunately more than double the price of the old one. And she comes with 2 left arms and 2 right arms, allowing you to freely choose her pose. For the anime news then, we are once again starting with GQuuuuuuX. With its premiere outside of Japan, the first Western reviews are flowing in, and they overall seem to be very positive. In Japan, meanwhile, the movie is already about to enter its 7th week, meaning that moviegoers there will be getting a new freebie. This A5 illustration card featuring the GQuuuuuuX and the not quite main Gundam, with one half painted as the red Gundam and the other half painted as the white Gundam. And from the newest series, we go to one of the oldest series with Zeta Gundam. To celebrate its 40th anniversary, they released this brand new art, and they also announced that more merchandise will be announced in the future. For now though, the stuff that they unveiled is a clear file with that new art, and stickers for Camille, Char, Shirako, Amuro, Haman, the Zeta Gundam logo, and again, that new art. And I gotta say, that new art of the characters looks absolutely amazing. It doesn't just look good, you can feel the aura emanating from them. You can just feel that they're determined, walk into their mobile suit, ready to get into action. And I think these would look really good as acrylic stands as well. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the prototype Double Zeta Gundam has joined the fray, while on Steam the Unicorn Gundam Awakened has become available. In UC Engage we got new Encirclement Breakthrough battles and an event unit assembly for the UR Amuro and its UR RX-78-2 plus G Fighter. For Arsenal Base, the second Gundam Seed Booster series has gone up for pre-order, and it features both regular cards and cards using artwork from the defunct Tri-H arcade game, which is a really cool thing to see. And in the US, Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Overboost will be coming to the Bandai Namco Cross Store in Brooklyn, New York. But they didn't list a date of when exactly it's coming, so I'm not sure if they mean that it's coming soon, or if this was a post to drum up hype for the big opening of that store, which happened on February the 28th. So yeah, either it's coming soon or it's already there. In other news then, the Gundam-themed Japan Airlines jet has taken to the skies, and we got some cool pictures of it being unveiled, along with the Gundam-themed tour bus and some of the merchandise that will be available. A Gundam base will open up in Hokkaido's new Chitose Airport on March the 29th. We got some new Advance of Zeta art, and as I joked about in my last Advance of Zeta video, which was about System Weapons 1 and 2, it is System Weapon 3. But fortunately, unlike System Weapon 1 and 2, which were very much interconnected, System Weapon 3 seems to be more its own thing. And then we also got some exhibition news. The Yasuhiko Yoshikazu exhibition will be held at the Aomori Museum of Art from April the 19th to June the 29th, and over at the Sunrise World Tokyo, Yokohama, Hakata, and Kyoto, the Sunrise World Deformed Robot Fair will be held on March the 15th. They'll have a little exhibition, varying from location to location. The Tokyo, Yokohama, and Hakata location will offer lattes with the SD mix on them, and they'll of course also have a bunch of merchandise for sale. Things like stickers, can badges, keychains, apparel, and even signed art pieces by Koji Yokoi himself, the man who is responsible for like all of the old SD Gundam, SD mech designs. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 4th, Gundam had a collaboration with Secret Lab for some Gundam-inspired chairs and even a MacPad. For the chairs, $664 US gets you a Titan Evo styled after either the RX-78 Gundam or Char Zaku 2, or if you already have a Titan Evo chair, you can instead go for an RX-78 or standard Zaku 2 skin, which will then only set you back $99 US. And then for your Magnus Pro desk, you can get an RX-78 and Char Zaku 2 MacPad desk mat for $129 US, as well as a cable management bundle for $69 US. And on the 5th, you can try out both your skills and your luck with these new prize items. There is the Glitter and Glamours Lacus Clyne racing version, featuring Lacus Clyne in a Racing Queen outfit styled after her regular outfit from Gundam Seed Freedom. Or you could go for this Freedom Gundam bust, which is painted to resemble ceramic. So I'm sure that Makuve would love to have this thing.
Le ding!
For this week's reading material then, there was the Mobile Suit Encyclopedia, Earth Federation Mobile Suits of the UC 0090s, featuring machines from Char's Counterattack, Unicorn, and Narrative, the Gunpla Catalog 2025 version Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, there was the Big Comic Superior, in which Gundam Thunderbolt is being serialized, and also Gundam Thunderbolt's 25th manga volume was released in Japan, where you can either get it as a standard version or as a limited edition version, which then also comes with an art book and a cover to store both that art book and the manga inside of it. And at the same time, we also got volume 21 of Gundam Aggressor. And this volume is described as old school courage fueled by insanity, which is no doubt in reference to the pilot of the Red Rider. And finally then we got chapter 22 of the Battle Tales of Flanagan Boone and the final chapter of G Gundam's side story, both of which are linked down below but are of course all in Japanese. To celebrate that end of the G Gundam novel then, they released this new illustration of Domon and Rain doing the Sekiha Love Love Tenkyoken, and pre-orders went up for big or standard acrylic stands featuring that artwork. They go for 4,400 yen, 30 US, and 1,650 yen, 11 US respectively. They're slated for a June 10th release, and they're available online over at Aeon, Premium Bandai, and Animate, but I'm afraid that for the time being, it's only available in Japan. On to the apparel news then, where Strict G kicked things off on the 28th with some new Gundam Unicorn inspired designs. For 18,700 yen, 126 US, you can get a light jacket in either dark olive with the Garanciaris logo, or in black with the Neo Zeon logo. And for 10,780 yen, 72 US, you can get a sweatshirt with those same designs, but in different colors. Gray for the Garanciaris, and olive drab for Neo Zeon. And these also became available in physical Strict G stores on the 1st. Over at Bankore meanwhile, pre-orders went up for a variety of ALC and counter merch. And it's pretty much just the usual stuff. You can get the promotional image on a t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 22 US, a mug for 2,530 yen, 17 US, or a keychain for 880 yen, 6 US. And then you can get Amuro and Interdimensional Char as either a big or standard acrylic stand, going for 2,860 yen, 19 US, and 1,430 yen, 10 US respectively. and all of these items are slated for a May release. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know what our favorite scene from the original Gundam's 33rd episode was. And the results were quite clear. With only 4.4%, the introduction of Cameron Bloom wasn't even close to any of the other options. Like I first said when I first covered this poll, this option would probably have done significantly better if instead it was about Slegger punching Cameron. For third and second place then, we did get some competition, with Amuro and his dad getting 17.4% and the appearance of the Brabro getting 23.5%. And yeah, the Brabro does deserve quite some recognition, as it was the first ever new type machine to ever appear in Gundam. But of course, the nearly uncontested winner was Amuro shooting down 12 Rigdoms in under 3 minutes. Not only did this show how good Amuro was becoming with his Gundam, but it also gave us some iconic poses, and it was later on even referenced in Gundam Seed Destiny when Kira first got the Strike Freedom. But of course, in typical Overkill Seed fashion, Kira didn't just wreck 12 machines in 3 minutes, he defeated 25 machines in 2 minutes. But yeah, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that this option won. As for the currently ongoing poll then, Gundam.info wants to know what our favorite announcement from the Gundam Next Future final event was. New information for the Gundam Next Future Pavilion at the World Expo, the Perfect Grade Unleashed New Gundam, the winners of the 12th Gunpla World Championship, or the date when GQuuuuuuX will appear on Japanese television, which, in case you missed it, is April 8th. And I really thought that this was going to be a slam dunk victory for one particular option, because let's go over them. Seeing the winners of the Gunpla Builders World Championship is cool, but it's not going to change our lives. Plus, we did already see these models in the preliminaries, so this option is understandably in quite a distant last place. Then we have the new information for the Gundam Next Future Pavilion, which was like a slightly different version of a model kit that we already knew we were getting, and the teaser for a movie that will be shown off at the venue. It's not nothing, it is cool, but at the same time, compared to the other announcements, you're not going to get the most excited about this. So understandably, it is in a distant third place. And then what I thought for sure was going to be in a strong second place, but not like enough to challenge first place, was the announcement of when GQuuuuuuX will be airing. Because here's the way I saw it. We already knew that GQuuuuuuX was going to be getting a television anime, and based on the model kits that were announced at the time, we knew that it was going to be happening relatively soon. So when they did pinpoint the date, it wasn't so much of an, oh my god, they finally announced it, as much as it was like, oh, okay, that's neat to know, I'll write that down in the calendar. Whereas the Perfect Grade Unleashed New Gundam actually was a shock and a surprise, despite the leaks happening last year, or maybe exactly because those leaks maybe turned out to be true. And over at Gundam.info, people seemingly felt the same way. But over at Twitter, GQuuuuuuX is actually in a slight lead over the Perfect Grade Unleashed New Gundam, which again did surprise me. So if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.